Shalom. This is Kabash Ban Yasharala. And before I hop to today's lesson, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to the Most High in the name of His Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, in the true Pele Hebrew tongue. Ka, Halayim, La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, Ma'amaf. I want to give double honor to the apostles and elders, the GMS who rule well and teach well. I want to give double honor to my elder as well, Aaron Ban Yasharala, the Lions Day Camp here in Jacksonville, Florida. And I want to say shalom to the Akim Four Corners of the globe, pushing this truth and sincerity. And with that being said, this isn't an impromptu lesson. I did gather some scripture together, but I just kind of put it together. You know, there's a little in general topic, but we'll be talking about being confident in our walk today. And it's just that simply put, we're to be confident in our walk with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Be confident in our hope for salvation that was given to us by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Being confident in, you know, our vocation, what we were called to do, our job, which is to serve Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You know, we can't be ashamed of what we do for the Lord, or being of the Lord, I'll say. Because if you're ashamed of the Lord, He'll be ashamed of you in that day. So we can't trim our light, man. We're to shine for all to see, regardless of the persecution, regardless of anything this world has to throw your way. We got to be strong in our walk with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, because we're headed towards salvation, and we can't lose sight of that. And by trimming your ways, seeking the love of this place, you're losing sight of your path. You're forsaking your destination. And we can, just to say it one more time, and we can't allow anyone to deter us from shining the light of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But 2 Peter 2:10, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, ye shall never fall. So we're to make our calling and election sure. If you're not confident in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you need to get confident. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Because He called us as soldiers. We're soldiers of a Mashiach. We're on the battlefield. We can't be out there scared, not sure if we gonna win or lose. No, we gotta go out there like we finna win. Like we already obtained that. Because the scripture even says that. We obtained the victory through Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. It may not look like it with your current, whatever you got going on, but we're focused on the latter end. That's when the Lord's going to justify and glorify us. That's when He's going to reveal to the world who His chosen were. But we have to get there. The scripture says, he who endure to the end shall be saved. So we have to endure the things that try to deter our faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, that try to pull us off our path of righteousness that the Lord placed us on, the straight gate and narrow way. And the more we make our calling and election sure, the more we're setting ourselves on the foundation of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, the more our roots are digging in, you know, making it harder for us to fall. You know, we're going to be firm in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That's what keeps us upright. So we can't lose sight of these things. Hebrews 10:23. Let us hold fast to profession of our faith without wavering, for He is faithful that promised. So we got to cleave to the things of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai without wavering. Our faith can't waver. We can't be all for the Lord one day and then we only giving 25% the next day. We got to be all in every day, locked in. Because as soon as your mind is pulled away from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you in darkness. Now you can't see nothing. Your GPS messed up. You have no guidance. All the more reason to cleave to our profession of our faith. Because our faith is in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. This job is more important than anything this world can offer. This job more important than the President of the United States, Special Forces, International Coalition, whatever, it doesn't matter. being a prophet of Yahweh Bashim Shai and just a servant in general is more important than all of that. Because the Lord is the one who makes sure we sustain. The Lord the one makes sure we took care of. The Lord is the one leading us to salvation. So we owe our duty of service to him. And we know the things promised to us. Like, you know, when you go work at a job, you know they gonna pay you. You clock in, you do this, you keep track of your hours and all that, and you get paid accordingly. Same with Yahweh Bashim Shai. The harder we go for him, the harder he'll go for us. So our faith can't be wavering. If we're only giving the Lord 25% or whatever the case may be, we bucking the jack. The Lord gonna buck the jack when it comes to us. You call on his name when you need him, he gonna get around to you whenever, if he even do so, you know. But a true and sincere servant of Yahweh Bashim Shai, he call out to the Lord. The Lord get on that. Even if it don't look like that, the Lord move in ways we can't even understand. And the scripture says that too, man. The Lord speak, but man comprehended not. Just to roughly paraphrase, there was a lot more to it than that. Speak once, twice, yea, thrice, yet man comprehended not. The Lord move in ways we can't even understand. We can't comprehend. But everything that goes on in our life is spiritual, man. So we should always be in the mindset of, what can I learn from this? What can I learn from that? You know? Staying in the mindset of Yahweh Bashim Shai. What is the Lord trying to show us? Trying to think of the other precept I could have got. But I'm going to get these and see if I can find it. Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. So, we got to be strong in our faith in Yahweh Bashim Shai. I got to be bodybuilder, WWE, steroid wrestler, body type strong. And we don't need no steroids. The Lord gave us the true bread, that we'll hunger and thirst no more. We're to be strong in the power of his might, understanding the spirit that he placed upon us. We're strong when we're in the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Shai. We're weak, we're in the flesh. And the scripture says that too. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. As long as we're moving according to the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Shai, we strong. But when we start giving in to the lust and the desires of the flesh, man, that makes us weak. But Ephesians 6:10 again, finally, my brother, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. We're to be strong in Yahweh Bashim Shai. We can't build ourselves up in any other way. Not to say you can't fortify yourself at your job and this, that, and the third, you know. The Lord wants us to, you know, sustain ourselves. And if he puts us in a position to be able to do so comfortably, take it. But it has to be of Yahweh Bashim Shai. We keep him first in everything. We can't lose sight of him for a second, because that's how easily temptation could creep in. That's why we had to put this armor on that the Lord gave us. That's the only way we'll be able to stand. If we put on the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Shai, that's our covering. That's our defense. The 2/3 of our people don't have this covering. They don't have this defense. That's why they're so weak to the flesh. That's why they can't see the light of Yahweh Bashim Shai for what it is. They're comfortable in this place, not realizing that this place is going to be destroyed. The Lord has enmity against this place and those ruling and those following behind it alike. But us, we're fighting for Yahweh Bashim Shai through his spirit. There's nothing carnal we can do to obtain salvation. Our walk is spiritual. But we got to have the covering of Yahweh Bashim Shai on to be protected in our walk. You know, we can't be doing this work begrudgingly, unwillingly. Because the Lord wants true and sincere servants that do this work because of the love that they have for Yahweh Bashim Shai. And part of being confident in our walk is walking with that covering on. Walk around with that armor on. Let everybody know who you working for. Because I was with one of the brothers the other day. He ran into one of his old teachers or whatever, and he told her where he worked, and she was like, Amazon hiring, like, up in your nose at this man's job, like he don't have a job. People are so carnal that they only have eyes to see, ears to hear the things of this place. They'll tell you how to elevate in this place. They can't tell you how to elevate spiritually though. They don't have that armor on. But that's what the Lord set us out as spectacles to the world for all to see. So we walk around with our uniform on. Some mocking, some scoffing, persecution gonna come from that. But this armor, this covering that we have on helps us stand against temptation, the wiles of the devil, anything meant to pull us away from Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And the 2/3 of our people won't understand that until it's too late. So while we might be a laughing stock now, the Lord gonna have the last laugh, and those with him gonna be laughing right with him. Man, let's get it. Matthew 5:10. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. So, by this world hating us, persecuting us, casting us to the wayside, it shows that we're of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. We're favored. The more the Lord rejects us because of our walk with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, the more we're favored. And you're going to lose out on family, friends, events, and all these other things. But we have Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and that's all that matters. The Father in the name of the Son. And it's one thing to be persecuted. That don't make the Lord want to favor you. But when you're persecuted for righteousness' sakes, when you're persecuted because you have that covering of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai on, that's where the blessing, that's where the favor comes into play. And that's where our confidence should come from. This world's starting to despise us because we shine the light. We speaking the word. We rebuking wickedness, the ways of our people. That's where the blessing comes in, doing what's commanded of us. And we got to be confident in that. Why? Matthew 5:12 again. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Ain't nobody out here persecuting these Christian pastors, these Muslim dudes out here selling these bean pies and newspapers. Ain't nobody persecuting IUIC for going out there marching and doing all that stuff. And surprisingly, nobody is persecuting Sakari and ISUPK for their gang banging and they outright wickedness in the club Passovers. I think it was ISUPK, man. They had a whole, man, they Passover was a club party. They like, I promise you, bro, you couldn't have told me it wasn't a club. Well, they was in the club. Even if it wasn't a club, they done rented some room and they had a party. Ain't nobody persecuting these people. The world can get with these things. But when the true prophets go out on the highways and byways, there ain't no shits and giggles. There ain't no fun. There ain't no games being played. We out here to prophesy. And we get persecuted for that. They make us our enemy for telling them the truth. But we got to understand, man, we working towards a great reward in heaven. That's why we're to store our treasures in heaven, where they can't be corrupted or taken from us. Because everything in this place is temporary. That little feel good that these people get from their little gatherings, holiday season just ended. All that feel good ended, it's gone. Now what's the end of that joy? Sorrow. Scriptures say that too. I ain't gonna go get it. But we're in the house of mourning. The 2/3 of our people are in the house of mirth. But we're to be confident in our mourning. Because the Lord gonna comfort us. He already comforted us. He gave us his spirit. And that's the end all be all. You got to focus on the comfort that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua bestowed upon us and wait patiently for him to return. Proverbs 24:16. For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. So we in this flesh just like the 2/3 of our people. The only difference is when we fall, we feel bad about it. The 2/3 of our people been failed and ain't get up. They think they're alive, but they're only alive physically, carnally. That spiritual person within is unalived. That person ain't breathing, moving, walking, striving, working, doing anything for the Lord. Don't got no nutrients, nothing to it. That's why 2/3 of our people are in the congregation of the unalived. They don't have that breath of life. They don't have the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to walk with him, because they were cut off from him. But us, we have that. And when we move contrary to that spirit, we feel bad about it. But that don't mean the Lord don't love us no more. That mean tighten up. That mean get up. And we gonna have, ain't nobody perfect. But we don't beat ourselves up about that. We're to be confident that the Lord is still with us. He knew we was gonna fall. He gave us a way to get up through his spirit. But the 2/3 of our people, the wicked shall fall into mischief. 2/3 of our people fall and will never pull them by the wayside. Is keeping them over there. That's why Psalm 69, let their tail become a snare. Because the things that they're living off of is keeping them trapped and ensnared in this world, which has judgment coming. That mischief that they fell into, that darkness, that temptation, is keeping them in the pollution of this world. And the Lord told us to arise and depart, for this is not our rest. He told us to put on our beautiful garments. So we can't, and it's another scripture that says, have your mind been removed from the Lord, being returned, man, seek him 10 times more. That's what the Lord looking for. Who gonna fall and get up? Because we all gonna fall from time to time. You want to get up. That's the point. The Lord want to see you gonna keep fighting. When you playing Call of Duty, you got your moments where I was playing Black Ops, and it was like the dude fell off the boat. I think it was Mason, I want to say, for those who do play. I was in the last one where they was attacking the ship. But you fall to the thing, man. The Lord want to see you get up. You can't fall and remain in that, because that's all there is for you down there, death and judgment. Nah, pull yourself up and stay in the fight. You don't want to be a casualty of war. So you got to be confident in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, confident in the armor that he gave us to put on. We gonna fall, get up, keep pushing. That's the end all be all. So Yahweh rock the Zardis less was edifying, and until the next time, I'm gonna say shalom.